Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all doing? Welcome back, Jack, to another episode of the Zillion Podcast, where we talk about all sorts of stuff around the internet. Now we're going to be talking about some of this D&D nonsense that's been happening the last couple of days. I meant to post it, but we'll talk about that in a second. First off, I just want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Appreciate everybody joining in. It's going to be a fun one, man. I hope you enjoy this, okay? Want to support the show? You can do any of these things, like, subscribe, comment, share. You consider donation. Got donations in there. Links in the description. I appreciate it. It keeps the show going. And also, it keeps improving the show. So God bless you. Much appreciated if you are interested. Again, the other stuff up there is free, so you can do it if you want to. Thank you so much again. And let's talk about what happened. So I had a little hiccup, a little boo-boo, okay? Made a little mistake, okay? I got a little sick, so I was recovering, and I guess the timing on the schedule kind of was off, and I was like, all right, let me just do it fresh. So that was awkward for me. I had thought I had posted the video the correct date, but I didn't, so that was a big mistake. This was my face basically when I realized the morning podcast didn't go out, causing the entire schedule to come into a flux. So yeah, I'm playing major catch up right now. A lot happened the last couple of days while I was out trying to fix everything. It's crazy, but we're back. All right, so we are we're going back to our regularly scheduled program. Here we go. Last time on Wizard Ball Z's. That's what it's become, man. That's what it's become. It's become a reality show. I'm sorry. I hate to say this. It became its own drama. The drama itself has become its own TV show. I can't even believe some of the stuff these guys were doing, which we'll cover over the next couple of days in more detail. But I just want to give you a cursory of how everything's been going. Yeah, it's basically a TV show, and sadly, you kind of have to basically separate yourself a little bit. One is the absurdity of it all, and the second is like the actual anger you feel about how things are going. It really is one of those, it's like a twofer. It hits you one time with that, this is so ludicrous, and then the second time it hits you with, you're actually angry. So that's unfortunate. But again, it's a good learning experience for me, for you, for everybody. We all learned a lot the last couple of days. So WOTC, they lived long enough to be the villain. I mean, the greed. Oh my God. It's so much. Dude, this is literally their face. When they try to pass that OGL 1.1. I can't even believe people were trying to defend them in the beginning. I was like, you guys need to wait and see, okay? I mean, listen, I understand not wanting to go on the offensive, the attack, or whatever, blaming them, getting angry. I understand that, not jumping the gun. But why would you go out of your way to defend this corporation that's a megacorp that has proven to not care about you? And they're going to keep proving. I just waited. I said, let me just let them bury themselves. I'm all about letting people who are bad bury themselves. I'm like, let's watch. And it was happening, okay? So I'm going to start off right now with something pretty dark. This is the end of mass blind WOTC loyalty. A lot of people have been burned hard by this. A lot of people who were their staunch defenders. I'm not gonna name any names, but there was one big YouTuber in the D&D space who was criticizing people. He was basically saying they took the feeble spell, and I was like, yeah, you're gonna regret this. Times have changed, okay? On the left, this was Wazards in the left. Now this is Wazards today. I'm calling them Wazards, okay? So they went from Wizards to Wazards, okay? I'm not giving them the Wizards name. They have lost that in my mind, okay? I might slip once in a while, but that I'm human. But we like to give, little fun pet names here, just to kind of keep it lively, and, have a good time, not take things too seriously. So yeah, times have changed, and it's okay to look at things differently. You have to look at it that way. This for me, well, not you, but that's how I think of it, right? This is a silver lining. I learned a lesson. It was a good lesson to learn. I stepped back, I zoomed out, and I looked at the landscape, and I said, what does this matter to me? Am I gonna ego invest myself into this? No. I'm okay walking away from the D20 system, from the D&D name and the D&D IP, especially the IP, their type of monsters and stuff. It's fine. We can make our own stuff. You know what I mean? You have to have that confidence in yourself. You have to have that belief in yourself. It's okay. You're a GM, you're a DM, or you're a player, you're a gamer, and you already have a history of making things up already. It's fine to make things up and go forth in our own way. Go in our own direction. What have I talked about in the past? I've always said, go off on your own, figure things out for yourself. It's the shadow pill. What does that mean? It's going on your own journey, figuring things out for yourself, going down the path, doing things for yourself. Life doesn't live for you. You have to live for it. Okay? You have to live your life. You have to be the captain of your ship, man. No one else is going to drive this ship for you. Okay? No one, my old man used to say, nobody's going to be God for you. You have to figure things out for yourself. Self-reliance and confidence, those are things that need to be innate in you. That's just part of being an adult. You like how I gave him the orange eyes of greed? That's from the shout out to the Blackest Night DC Comics run. That was fun. I love some of these memes, man. It's so good. So basically, this is how 2023 has been going for Wizards. Okay, they said, how about 1 billion cards per month as collectibles and $1,000 proxy cards, and also a new license where we own everything and get a cut of your revenue, and we can use your hard work as a product, and we like it. If we like it. And everybody, all the customers were like unanimously, nah, how about nah? Basically counterspell, nah. I think this is great because I've never seen so many people from all walks of life agree on one thing before. Not like this. It was so interesting to watch all these different communities of people, different backgrounds, you name it. People were like, this sucks. I just thought it was fascinating. Now look at Wizards, a little inside look at Wizards. Look at them. They can't wait to cough up more money. Here's the thing that I found funny. When they were not speaking and people were, assuming, speculating that the lawyers were trying to reconstruct everything, that tickled me because I did think that they would change the OGL or try to massage it a little bit. There was a lot of conspiracy theories about what was going on in the background. In my mind, I thought maybe that they were trying to reconstruct the OGL in a certain way so that it would seem not as offensive, like the actual quote-unquote OGL, which I don't think that was the case. I think 1.1 was going to be the real one, and that they just got caught out there. But I thought that conspiracy theory was very entertaining. The idea of them trying to massage it so that it wouldn't be as bad. The real OGL wouldn't be as bad as what people think. I just imagine them just yelling at each other like, listen here, Timmy, we're not leaving until we get this nice one out there. I just thought that was so funny. I didn't believe in that. That theory was kind of far-fetched for me. I don't think a company like, Wizards is that forward-thinking. You know what I mean? I think they're more. You have to look at it this way. I mean, again, it's Hasbro, but I like to say Wizards because it's funny. But yeah, seriously though, these people are still in a very short-term kind of mentality when it comes to making money. They're not looking at it like, hey, the investment in the community of people, all the different customers that we have, we're gonna try and to do the long game, right? You're looking at the long game when you want to make a lot of money and you're trying to create value, right? You build value, the money will come in. People will buy something that they like. You create something people like, they'll buy it. It's pretty straightforward. The thing is, that takes work, that takes time, that takes a good work ethic, that takes a faith in the customer base, and that takes a long-term view. They don't have that. What they have is a short-term view of, let me just milk them for all they're worth right now. And if we offend them, if we insult them, if we, again, it's proving to you that they don't care about you, right? They think of it like, hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, which is not the way to go if you're trying to build a big sustainable business that, everybody knows about, right? You want to create goodwill. That's the point of a good business. And that's how I look at it, at least. Who am I, right? I saw this on Wednesday, all of this happening, and I thought, this is dire straits. And it was. But then right away, you started to see what I was talking about, this phenomenon, right? This idea of like people uniting. You know, you had RPG fans on the left, you had non-political RPG fans, you had RPG fans on the right, all coming together and criticizing Wizards. I mean, this really, in a weird way, this repaired a lot of broken relationships. I mean, there was people I knew who hated each other since 2016, and they got together. This landscape was so different to me. I just couldn't believe that people were like, from all these different walks of life were like agreeing on this one thing, that, hey, this sucks. Like, what are we gonna do? The we talk was very interesting to me. What are we gonna do? I thought that was very unifying. So you see all these different groups of people. That's how I imagine it. All these different types of people from all walks of life, and then finally us right now. Just imagine this is a zoomed in version of it because I couldn't find the image with all of them in it. But yeah, that's how I felt it was. That's how I saw it. And basically seeing the people who like hated each other since 2016 get back together and watching friendships reform out of this, right? People kind of, you know, reaching across the aisle and just making amends was interesting, inspiring. I don't know what to even think of it. Like, it just was I was enamored with the idea of people making amends. I saw family members, you know, not my family, but you know what I mean, other people's family members getting together, you know, and actually like having conversations again. This was a unifying moment. And I think, you know, a lot of those friendships and relationships, I think will stay, you know, solid because now they're on a more, what's the term I'm looking for? It's on a more, they came in amicably and they started that, you know, reformation of that relationship from a positive standpoint of like, hey, we need each other. And that's, I think, is a foundation of, you know, having a very solid relationship. Hey, we need each other. You know, let's stick together. You know, I'm sorry about this thing I said. Oh, I'm sorry about this thing I said. What are you doing on Friday? Let's hang out, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you, man, I saw it happen a lot. Human nature is very interesting. Once you see something that's out there that's just a more, almost like, I wouldn't even say a threat, more like an impending doom, I guess would be better. You know, this thing that will threaten your stability as far as like, oh, I don't need anybody. I'm going to be, you know, kind of, you know, a loner or whatever, right? But you see this thing that's like, oh, this is threatening my gameplay. You know, this is threatening my, you know, my friend group of when we're playing these games. What are we going to do? You work together, right? You get together and you work together to create something new. You're trying to build something new. You're trying to make a new game, new campaign, a new setting, something that you're going to need them a lot less, right? You're going to be more self-reliant upon within your little group to make something more fun. Because at the end of the day, that's what D&D was all about. That's what RPGs were all about, was you were making things up as you go along and you creating new worlds and creating new systems. That's what it's always been about, you know? It was never this like, we let the companies tell us what our fun is going to be. We need them. It was never that. Literally, D&D was started by, you know, when it was started by Gary Gygax, he had at some point was, you know, he came to a realization that we were just making stuff up. You can look up the Tim Kask video where he was just like, yeah, we were together, we were making things up as we went along. And really the dark secret is the gamers don't need us. The DM doesn't need us. You know, we just provide some sort of starting point. So you just have to keep that in mind. We don't need Wizards. We don't need Hasbro. We never did. So if they decide to, you know, use D&D, D20 or whatever, the OGL license to like, you know, hold it as a carrot over a stick and dangle it in front of us and taunt us with it, you can just walk away. You're free to walk away and you're going to be okay. You will be okay. You'll be more than okay. You'll be free. You'll be able to make new things up as you go and have more fun with it. Okay? Remember the proxy debacle? The proxy debacle was a first eye opener for me. I realized, oh, y'all legitimize proxies. So the proxies are okay. Can you imagine all the people who are printing proxies, how vindicated they felt? And I apologized to a lot of proxy makers because there was people I was like, you guys are making up your own cards. That's so lame, blah, blah, blah. You know, you were just like, you know, flying off the handle, guys. Come on. You know, I used to be pretty, I won't lie, I was pretty turned up my nose on proxies because they weren't official cards. This was a wake-up call for me. You know, this proxy moment that when Wizards was like, hey, we're gonna when Wizards was decided to make people pay a lot of money for proxies, they unfortunately for them, they legitimized proxies, and they woke me up to it. I was like, oh, so proxies are, it was like a door had been opened. Proxies are okay. You know, so what? They're not tournament legal. Who cares? Go make your own tournament, right? Go make your own, you know, local gameplay night. You know, why do you need Wizards for that? You don't need them for that. They haven't been even doing that many tournaments. I think they had like one big one, but that was it. They've been kind of lax on the tournaments in the last couple of years. Let's be honest. You know, they had that one big one, which is cool, but for the most part, you can just create your own local tournament and allow proxies and just have your own set rules. That's what we do with my group for Magic. We don't use the regular formats. We created our own format. You know, we have a list of cards that we approve and we don't approve. We're like, oh, nah, not these cards. Everything else is okay though. You know what I mean? So the fun is in your hands. It really is. This will change everything. Here's some examples. I mentioned already relationships. I already talked about okay, so the gamer empowerment we just mentioned. You know, you are free to be able to create your own fun and do your own thing and you know, be the leader of your own gameplay, right? You're being the moderator of your own future games. So you just have to be okay with that. You know, I think that's a big thing. This gamer empowerment is one of the things that I think will create the foundation of a new future where you won't be tied to these companies and corporations anymore, where you have to feel like you owe them something. That loyalty is going to hurt you. It's a double-edged sword. They use it against you. And I think that was a good moment for everybody. A lot of people were like, oh, we don't need it. I just thought that was so funny. Bigger backbones. I think more people will be able to defend themselves more. They'll be able to articulate themselves more. They'll be able to push back more. They'll be able to stand back and just sit there for a moment and not feel like they are owed to the company, that they have to pay them out of their pocket, you know, because so there's a lot of young people especially, who feel that way. The older gamers I notice are not that way. Overall, I've seen one or two, but for the most part, most older gamers tend to be more of they have more of a pushback mentality, which I really appreciate. This is going to give you more independence. Obviously, we know why we mentioned that already. And again, it's possibly the end of consumerist complacency, which I've talked about in the past, where people just consume because they think that that's what they should do to be a good fan, to be a true fan. The word fan being held against people, being used as like almost like a tether, like you're afraid to like offend the community by not being a faithful consumer. The whole just consume product, right? Not questioning anything. So I forgot I made this. Wizards' future vision for their preferred content creators. And put on the suit, guys. What's wrong? Don't you want to be an employee? Because that's basically what they want. They wanted good little employees. They wanted people to kind of bend the knee, right? To basically sign this contract. You're an employee. We have more control over you now. And basically, we're telling you what we want out of you, as opposed to your free PR for them. I mean, let's be honest. They owe you, really, if you're a content creator, because you were promoting their stuff. I just don't understand that flip. Like, yes, it can be mutually beneficial if you have like an agreement with them. That's one thing, but that's a deal that you and them made together, right? This OGL thing is not the same situation. It's a what is that called? It's a ultimatum. You better do this or else. Okay, get to it. That's the difference. That's the big difference. One is consensual. Hey, I want to get with Wizards. I want to work with them. I want to work with WOTC. I want to work with them. I want to have a deal. Blah blah blah. I give you this. You give me this. I give you this. You give me that. Whatever. That's mutual. This was like, you better get to it. Okay, get back into the cave. Get back into the factory. It's like, get back on the plantation. It's just so ridiculous. I couldn't even believe it. That awkward moment when we realized we wanted to just be good. They just wanted us to be a good little agent. What happened to the customers always, right? Why in God's name would anyone of us care what the venture capitalists want? Which is what was happening. They wanted venture capitalists. They wanted the venture capitalists to be the number one priority. You know, so you have the venture capitalist, the bottom line, and at the very bottom, maybe the customer, right? So they had their own prerogative. They didn't care about us. They only cared about that bottom line and the venture capitalists who already paid them, okay? So you just have to keep that in mind, that this is an actual, a restructuring of how things work, right? They're restructuring how things work in the open. They're telling you who they are. Believe them. You know, when someone tells you who they are, you just believe them. Mega corporations trying to satiate the nonstop hunger for more profits every year, more. They don't care. They only care about themselves. They only care about themselves. And that, and again, for me, that was okay. I stepped back and I was like, what do I want to do from this? Where do I want to go from this? I believe somebody when they tell me who they are. You know, I didn't get into an emotional fit about it. You know, not to say that you're not validated for having an emotional reaction. That's fine. I'm saying for me, I was like, okay, they hate us. I'm moving forward. What do I do from here? You know what I mean? Because that's really, at the end of the day, you need to figure out what you want to do. It's your wallet, right? At the end of the day, do what works for you. You know, do what works for you. The IP theft, though, that was an extra level of, I think that was just repugnant. Just, there was nothing, it was so reprehensible. There was just no coming back from the IP theft. That part had me laughing. You mean you can use the IP for anything and it doesn't matter? But they promoted you. This product that, oh my God. It was just, there was layers of like shock, awe, amazement. Like, just like, I can't believe y'all did this. I can't believe this is happening right now. And then I realized, oh yeah, that's right, they're evil. that's a harsh word. Let me take that back. I take that back. Evil is a very strong word. Let's just say selfish, okay? Or not even selfish, even a little bit more than that. I would say egregious. Egregious is like where we are at this moment. I should have like a chart where I just show you where we are, how I feel where we are. Like, this is where we are, guys. And I don't know what to do with this except to just let you know. Now, this is not a black pill. I don't want you to feel like you're being black pilled by this. This is a good thing. Again, I'm happy with the transparency. I like it. And in fact, the fact that there is an entire civil war happening with wizards inside, you know, you have people who are true believers, you know, in the system, people who are believing, who believe they have the vision of what Wizards supposed to be, right? A company that makes products that give value to people, and people, you know, pay for the product, and then they have like a very positive camaraderie. I find that fascinating, right? Because you have people who really care fighting inside the people who are, well, let's be honest, they're just corporate leeches. I don't want to be mean about it, but what am I supposed to say? And the fact that they're having this like almost inner battle, it's just fascinating. That's why I call it the Magic Civil War. It's Magic Civil War. I mean, you could call it D&D Civil War, whatever you want to call it. Just don't call me late for dinner, okay? When they steal third-party content, yeah, I think it'll be for the microtransactions they plan on, for the online tabletop platform, NFT, blockchains. I think they're gonna do whatever they were talking about, being anti-NFTs and blockchains for they didn't want people to use the product for that. I think it's the flip, because Hasbro already be putting out NFTs for Power Rangers. Don't think I didn't notice that stuff. You see, you gotta just pay attention to some of the little things they do on the side, and you'll know everything that they're up to. You'll know their psychology down pat. Whatever they say they're doing is the opposite. They are projecting on you what they are gonna do. Okay, that's it. That's all it is. They are very good at manipulating people. They were very good. I was seeing people buy it. I was like, really? You guys are falling for it? Oh my God. I mean, that's just a testament to how well the corporate manipulators from different companies like Microsoft that they've hired are the PR people are very what's the word I'm looking for? They're both litigious and malicious in a slight malicious. I will give them a slight malicious, because you have to be a little malicious to be manipulative like that, to gaslight the audience. You gotta be a little malicious. So just again, keep this in mind, okay? I'm not trying to black pill you. I don't think this is the end. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful thing. I think there is a silver lining to this. I think this is a new generation, a new era, a new age, a new golden age of gaming. I think if you take it in your hands, you're going to go into a better place. That sounds very philosophical, but I'm just trying to tell you that it's going to be okay. At the end of the day, the gaming is what you make it, right? Your wallet is what you want it to be, right? If you think people should, if you think you should buy XYZ product from XYZ company, then do it, okay? I'm not gonna judge you for it. I'm not gonna call you names for it. Do what works for you. It's your money, okay? The gaming is your life. It's your game. It's your time. It's your free time. Do what works for you. Have a good time, okay? I don't want you to think that this is some sort of like what you should do, what you shouldn't do. I just want you to be informed about what's going on and to keep a good head on your shoulders about it, right? To think for yourself, do some research of your own, always do your own research and decide for yourself what's right, what's wrong, and what you want to do, okay? Did I miss anything? Let me know in the comments. What's your take on this whole thing? I'll talk more about this in the week as we go. I wanted to make sure I had more information, as well as after the scheduling, I could have posted yesterday, but I was like, let me just wait and see. And more stuff was coming out. I was like, all right, let me just wait it out. It was too much. Anyways, this is my information here if you're interested. God bless you guys. I don't want you guys to think this is the end. It's not. It's going to be okay. We're all going to be fine. I think this is the start of a new thing. I think, honestly, if you really look at it from an open source kind of mentality, I think we're going to be in an even better spot than we were in the beginning of 2022. So, just take it as a positive, man. Silver lining, man. You got to go forth and have a good time. Anyways, that's it from me. Hope you have a great day. I'll see you guys in the comment section, and fly high and game forth.